For all of my fellow Yinzers and Pittsburgh Steelers fans, you already, I'm assuming, know that the Pittsburgh Steelers have traded away Minkah Fitzpatrick, and into Pittsburgh comes Jalen Ramsey. Now, a lot of people are asking, is this a good trade? Is this a bad trade? What does this mean? And for some of them, I'm being made fun of for it. But you know what? I will tell you whether I like it or not. Let's get into it right now. First of all, we actually have to tell you about the trade. We're going to set the draft picks aside because I think at this point they are irrelevant. The Steelers get Jonnu Smith and, more importantly, Jalen Ramsey. On the opposite side of the spectrum, the Dolphins get Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they're going to get a late round pick, I believe it is a 5th. Let's talk about the Dolphins real quick and what they are getting. I think the reason that the Steelers kind of moved on is because Minkah Fitzpatrick has had a bad last 2 years, having gone with 6 interceptions, a career high in 2022. Now he's got himself 0 in 23 and 1 interception in 24. Absolutely terrible numbers, especially given what he was doing beforehand. Let's check out some other stats from him. Besides the fact that he was doing good up until 2022, you'll see that not only has his interception rate gone down, but his forced fumbles have gone down significantly, and on top of it, he's back to 96 tackles on average a season, compared to earlier his 124. On the other side of the ball, we got to take a look at Jalen Ramsey and what he brings to Pittsburgh. Jalen Ramsey is a journeyman. He started off in Jacksonville. He went to the Rams. Then he was with the Dolphins, and now he's in Pittsburgh. What is he bringing to the table? Is he as good as Minkah Fitzpatrick? We're going to find out here. Look, these are what the stats say. He is not a big touchdowns guy. Really, neither was Minkah Fitzpatrick. But I can tell you that unlike Minkah Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey is good for at least 1 or 2 solid interceptions a year. He might not have had 6 interceptions in a season and 2 of them being pick sixes like Minkah Fitzpatrick did in 2022, but what you will get with Jalen Ramsey is consistent numbers. He will not get shut out unless it was 2019, and hopefully not the seasons to come. A lot of the time, people tend to look at this as a 1-for-1 trade and who won, who lost. The fact of the matter is, you're not going to know who won or who lost immediately. You're just not. People have to play games first, you understand, for you to find out. Just in this past season, Jalen Ramsey ended the season with a sack and 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, in the last 2 seasons, Minkah Fitzpatrick has no sacks and 1 interception, and that's over 2 seasons. Now let's take a look at Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith is one of many tight ends in Pittsburgh at this current juncture, and I can see how Steeler fans would be a little trepidatious or upset or feeling that something's going to happen here, something bad's going to happen here because of how many tight ends are in Pittsburgh and do they have the room for it. But maybe these statistics will ease your mind a little bit. Last year in Miami, Smith had 88 receptions for 884 yards as a tight end, folks. Multiple of those plays went for 50 plus yards, and on top of that, 8 touchdowns for that season. This is his past season. He's coming off of a really decent season. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not 2020 Jonnu Smith, who did all of that with less receptions and yardage. He also had 8 touchdowns, but he's still coming off of a great season, and he's got something to prove now that the Dolphins have moved on from him. So I guess you want to know, who wins this trade? The answer to that question, like I said earlier, is nobody wins this trade yet because we don't know. Players have to play in games and perform before you know who won what trade. Do I think Minkah Fitzpatrick was a great player for the Steelers? Absolutely. When you've got people buying your jersey, you obviously mean something to the city. But on that same ticket, when you're being moved on from after having all of that success, it doesn't necessarily always mean, but most of the time, it means that something has declined, which his stats have proven they have. I mean, nothing but the best, and I wish nothing but the best for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Thank you for what you've done for Pittsburgh. I'll never forget your magical run in 2019, especially in a season where the Pittsburgh Steelers were at an all-time low, and we needed you. You've been fantastic. You mean a lot to the city of Pittsburgh. I hope you get cheered loud and clear when you come back up here, and you're always going to be a Steeler. Once a Steeler, always a Steeler. It's always been that way, always will be that way. And as for Jalen Ramsey, as long as you can keep your mouth shut, I'm good for you to come over here and do what you do best. just pick off balls, sit out there with Joey Porter and Mr. Slay and all those other guys. And let me tell you something, Deshaun Elliott, whew, boy, looks like the Steelers secondary looking pretty darn good right now. And again, only time will tell, but that's exactly how I feel. Wanted to just analyze that with you guys because, again, sick and tired of people blowing me up and saying, what do you feel about this? They're making fun of me because they don't understand the trade and they haven't been following specifically the Steelers. That's all I got for you. Just figured I would do that.